Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why I decided to drop out of school and why, if you're in school, if you're in university, if you're studying something, maybe this is a mindset, maybe this is something that you need to explore potentially, and I want you to hear my perspective, and maybe this could help you make that decision. Maybe this will help you just in kind of getting clarity in the entire situation. So, me personally, I went to school and I dropped out quite a bit ago. It's been a little bit of time now, but I dropped out for a few simple reasons. And I thought about it. I really had some time to kind of reflect on why I wanted to drop out. And these are the reasons why I decided to drop out. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story as well. So I have some notes here. So for the longest time, pretty much, I've always kind of just wanted to make a lot of money. I remember when I was younger, it was always like, oh, what do you want to do? Oh, whatever makes the most money. I would look up online, what jobs make the most money. And I would specifically have a bias to do the jobs that made the most money. So that's kind of what I preferred. And then I got into, for the longest time, since I was like 8 or 9, I was like, I'm going to become a doctor. All right? I'm going to become a doctor, because I made a lot of money. Become a plastic surgeon, make a few mil a year. All right? So what did I do? High school, studied biology, chemistry, did all the sciences. University comes around, same thing happens, study. And then I had this kind of epiphany moment. So it was a really weird kind of experience. But I was going to class, I was going to my lectures, I was doing everything, and it was painful. Like, studying and doing this, routine, it's not fun. You're under LED lights, you're learning from professors who are making like 40K, 50K a year, and I was not in a nice area. I'm not going to like University of Miami. I was in like a shitty area in Canada. It just wasn't a good vibe, right? I didn't enjoy it. But I had this one specific event that happened where I was sitting in a lab. So pretty much in science, you have these things called labs. You go into a lab and you do like little experiments and test certain hypotheses. So I was in this lab, and one of the professors who was in the lab, I went up to her, and I was like, hey, what's your background? I was just asking her questions, trying to pick her brain a little bit. This girl, she was a PhD. She's been in school for like the past 12 years. She's currently working within the school that I was going to. And we were talking maybe for 10 minutes. And I was like, hey, question. You've been in school for a while. You're a doctor, not a doctor, but a PhD. Like, how much are you making? She's like, oh, making between like 40 and 50K a year. And that one moment right there, that one thing, that one experience, I just remember after that conversation, I went back to my desk, I sat down and I was like, holy shit, nothing is promised. Because I reflected, I was like, what do I actually want? Like, what do I want? I get it, I'm going down the path that like society is saying to go down. I get it, I'm going down the path of like, okay, you're in high school, go to university. You're in university, get a job. I was going down that path. But what does the path lead to that I actually want? Money. What is money? Freedom, right? So I was going down that path without really even thinking of the end goal. So you have to begin with the end in mind. Whatever you are doing, you have to know your exit. You have to know what that position is going to do to benefit you later on, right? So that was a pretty low point. And then I remember like a few days after, it was within that week, I was just thinking a lot, and I was just kind of pondering, and I was just like, I can go to school and I could spend 10 years becoming a doctor and maybe make 300, 400K a year, which is, it's not horrible. And then you get taxed 50% in Canada. It's like, I can do that. And I was just like pondering, like, should I do that, etc. And I remember I went to this cemetery. I was sitting at this cemetery. So on the way to the gym, there was this like massive cemetery. And like in cemeteries, there's like little roads that like wind through. So I was driving to the gym and I was looking over and the sun was shining. You could see the sun kind of gleaming through the clouds. It was a nice day. And I went over to the cemetery and I was driving through. I probably did about 8 laps in my car. And then at the end, I just parked my car, opened the sunroof, got out. And I was just looking around and I was like, there's people that die. Like, these people are dead here. These people probably do have a lot of regrets. These people have went through their lives. These people have, you know, maybe attempted something and failed, but most of them didn't even attempt it at all and have died in a horrible place without potentially doing what they wanted to do, because everyone's going to end up right here, Ashton. Everyone's going to end up right in this gravestone. Everyone's going to end up in the exact same spot, being fucking dead. And there's millions of people who have died before us. And you are going to die. There's people who have lived millions of lives before you. You are not the first person to live a life, right? So it's like you can just kind of just go with the flow, see what happens, or you can take a little bit of action. So remember that specific instance of, you know, being in that lab, that kind of being like, oh my God, that's not a lot of money. And then after going to that cemetery, and then really kind of having, I have some photos on my phone actually, of exactly like, I remember I was taking photos of like the sky and the trees that specific day, and I made that my background for a while because it was like, holy shit, you can die like this. You can just stay in this town, you could just get your, you know, little bit of money, have a kid, and then just pass away. And like your life is just like nothing, it's meaningless. There's like meaning only for just kind of to survive, and it's a very low paradigm way of living, all right? So that really opened up my eyes. And then after that, I kind of really started to look for escape ropes. So I was in a cave, I was in a dark cave, maybe physically, mentally, and I was looking for an escape rope to climb out. And what I did is I literally just went on YouTube and I started watching content. I started watching someone named Iman Gadzhi. So Iman Gadzhi really opened up my eyes initially. He was like, he was teaching me what the best business model to start. You know, he's like starting SMMA. I bought his course, got it through one of my friends, and then went through his modules, went through everything about how to start a course, how to start an SMMA, how to run Facebook ads, how to hire people, just the basics, really basic stuff, mindset, basic stuff, right? And this gave me something to grasp onto. It wasn't even the fact that this was gonna work or this wasn't gonna work. It was the fact mentally that, okay, I can grasp onto this. This is some escape rope that even if it doesn't lead out of the cave, I can right now in the present moment just climb it blindly, and it will make me feel better. So I did that, and I went through my journey, and it took me 6 months to pretty much make any money from this. I started with courses, you know, just trying to really perfect everything before actually getting clients, which was my biggest mistake. And then that pretty much led to me being like, okay, you know, you're wasting time here. You're just procrastinating, brother. You got to get clients. You got to start making money. It's been 6 months. And then started doing cold calls, picked up the phone, got really good at sales, and then signed a bunch of clients and scaled. And that's kind of how I made my first little bit of money through SMMA, through pretty much fitness coaching, and through that entire business model. And then pretty much what happened from there is, you know, I scaled up to a little bit of money, and pretty much was able to kind of leave school and not really reattend it. And that's kind of like the process of, you know, how I escaped, etc. And, you know, was really able to kind of do that entire process. So I did that through, you know, starting a business, getting clients, helping clients. What was the business model? It was a service-based business where I was getting clients, providing a service, and helping those clients with something that they valued, right? So pretty much once I was able to, you know, make a little bit of decent money from this, I had a little bit of realizations. I've picked up realizations. So a lot of people, if you draw Maslow's hierarchy of needs, will stay at the bottom of that hierarchy of needs. They will just pretty much be in the psychological needs. I need to pay my rent, I need to buy food, I need to get money so I can pay my bills. And they're stuck in this loophole. And no wonder they're always going, because it's like, it's easy because you have to pay your shit or else you're gonna be homeless, right? So after making a little bit of money and kind of ascending from that point to a higher in the hierarchy of needs, I've realized that a lot of people who are, in business, a lot of people who are working jobs, etc., are stuck in a very low level, low paradigm. I need to make money, I need to grind, I need to go now, right? And it's really weird because this is just me speaking personally, but once you are in something, you're in a matrix per se, you're in this enclosed vacuum, you're in this Tupperware, right? This environment, if it's a job, if it's school, if it's anything. And in that environment, you know that is bringing you something, right? It's bringing you to something you think you want to get closer to. If it's money, if it's mostly money, right? Paying your bills. And then it's like, once I pick you up and take you out of that environment and give you a bunch of money, you start to kind of like question, you start to be like, why are all these people working so hard? Why are all these people in this like, hustle mode? It's not even hustle mode, like they're working hard, but they're just like blindly running in a way, right? And it's like, if I pick you up and take you out, you would have a totally different perspective of everything because you're so occupied with just like hustle, make money. It's like, what else do you do now? Like, if I pick you up and take you out of that, what are you gonna do now, right? You don't have any money, like, or now you have money. Now you didn't have money, now you have money. Like, what are you gonna do now, right? Your entire life was focused on making money and paying the bills. What are you gonna do now, right? So it's like pretty much what I have written down here is like, what do you actually want outside of this social construct we call money, right? Because money 2,000 years ago was gold. It was you giving someone a cow, they give you 2 lamb, something like that. It was value for value. Now what you're getting fluff for fluff. The government prints money, the Federal Reserve prints money, and they pretty much base it on nothing. And the only thing that gives value to this money is humans, right? So we just give value to something that doesn't really have value. It's a social construct. And you spend your entire life working for this one thing, and you never actually take an observant view on why am I working so hard for this one thing, right? And it's like, you're in school, you're in a job, you're working. It's like, let me remove you from that and let's see what you actually want outside of that. Like, you want money, okay, what does that lead to? A car? Okay, what now? You have a car, what are you able to do now? Go on road trips? Cool. You drive fast, look cool, right? Everything, like, what do you want, more freedom? Like, what do you want? Let's get clear on that. So what I pretty much had to come to senses with is like, I'm a novelty person. I'm very high dopamine. I need to be doing things. I need to be going. And I'm a freedom person. Like, I really like and enjoy being able to come do what I want when I want type of thing. So it's just, if you're in school, if you're in a job, if you're doing something you are, that's making money and you're kind of like stuck in this thing. People say stuck in the matrix, whatever, you can say that. But I want you to think, like, outside of your job, outside of making something that doesn't exist, which is money, like, what do you actually have going on for yourself? Like, what are you doing, right? Like, are you building something? Are you learning something? Are you, doing something interesting? Like, do you have, a vast social circle? Like, what are you doing, right? So, just food for thought. Thought I would share that with you. But for me personally, why I dropped out of school, it's pretty straightforward. School is definitely not the play for entrepreneurs. There's so much out there, and once you remove yourself from that, you can really understand, like, what are you doing this work for? For me, it was to make money, and I could make money, a lot more money on my own. I just wanted to make money the entire time, and I realized that that wasn't the way to do it. And then even outside of money, like, I talk about, I just wanted to make money the whole time, but outside of money, like, what are you doing, right? Like, if you're just focusing, I was on a call with Ty Lopez the other day, and he said, don't be so focused on making money that you forget to make money, right? And that stumped me for a second, because everyone's so focused on making money that they forget to actually do things that are fulfilling. And I don't say fulfilling as in like, oh, go and ride a horse down the beach, right? But like actual things that, can build a legacy, things that, can leave something behind in a way. So yeah, just wanted to share that message with you. And kind of just, this is straight off the cuff. This is straight off my head. Straight out of my head, just kind of riffing, talking about school, talking about a bunch of stuff. And that's pretty much it.